Simple trick that will make you incredibly smart. No, this isn't an exaggeration, nor is it a clickbait. What is the trick? Let's directly jump into it. We all face problems on a daily basis from the moment we wake up until we go to sleep. And lots of these problems are repetitive in nature. The reason being, you haven't solved them, nor have you found a solution. A lot of you are walking and living with your problems and have somehow made them an extension of yourself. The reason why you aren't much bothered is because they are not immediate in terms of their effect. The result of these problems will show in a long term. For example, dysfunctional relationships, habits, sleeping patterns, friendships, a proclivity to make bad decisions based on impulse and randomness, an overwhelming presence of guilt, self-hatred, dissatisfaction, regret from past, regret from last night, regret amassing from yesterday and every passing day, disappointment with self and cluelessness about self. We all face some or the other of these problems. As a result, we use Google. How to fix my life? How do I get over this person? How do I stop being lazy? And a multitude of similar sounding problems. As intelligent beings, we are programmed to initiate two responses: to seek advice online or to find solutions in books. Hence, we buy loads of self-help books. In terms of finding the right answers, where do we put our faith the most? In human psychology, the moment we hear this terminology, our brain gets assured that we are going to find a permanent fix for our problems. Psychologists figured shit about humans in the past century that philosophers figured out thousands of years ago. It's not rocket science, and I'm not talking about psychology, I'm talking about your problems. The thing is, nobody told you that you can solve anything you want on your own. When you were a kid, you sought your parents for everything, and that simple interaction jammed in your brain this tendency to always rely on others for solving your own shit. My question to you is, how often have you tried? Just detach yourself from any and all sources of solutions and information and created your own solutions. You haven't. And in this time, it is even more unlikely because we have way too much source material to rely upon. But it still isn't helping because relying on others simply makes your brain dull. You're not giving it any exercise. Sure, you will find a solution that works and it will solve one of your problems for now. But with a dull brain, you are likely to create 10 more problems in the coming 30 days. People often ask me, which books should I read that will make me smarter? Instead of reading, let me give you a better option. Thinking. Every single word written in a book comes from someone's mind. You've got a brain too. You want to be smart as hell? Here's a simple exercise. Whatever problems you have, why do I do this? Why am I stuck in this? Whatever the question becomes, write it down or type it and write down a solution that comes from your mind. No matter how long it takes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, just keep jotting down whatever ways and solutions your brain is suggesting you as elaborately as you can. If you need structure in your answer, just take into account 3 things. Why is it happening? How it affects you in your life, and what is the root of the problem? After you have written a solution, it is time to consult that online library full of solutions so you can compare notes. You don't even have to write. Just isolate yourself for 30 minutes today. Just lie down on a couch and pick one problem that has bothered you for a long time. Remember the 3 divisions: why, how, and the root. Once you have answers, Google it. Search the problem on YouTube. What's the reason behind Googling? Simple. Perspective. Once you start reading others' take on the same problem, you will discover the things you didn't consider, things you completely missed out on or forgot. Looking at your problem from different points of view, looking at your problem from the perspective of people with different temperament, tolerance, and sensitivity, different schools of thought employed by different people into solving that problem, different cultural points of view. How will these things help you? The moment you increasingly start solving your problems by inviting careful thought and reasoning, you automatically develop a habit of problem solving. You become more and more self-reliant. You start thinking more, thereby exercising your brain and making it sharper. You become more accepting of different points of view because you are not in a process of defending something. You develop a habit of thinking first and reading later. You are able to rank your brain or make an assessment of it. The process of comparing your product with other existing products gives you a clear picture of where you stand in terms of expansive thinking. When you notice you didn't examine or forgot many factors that other people used in their answers, you realize your intellectual position, which of course is changeable. You learn to be unsatisfied with your answer. The exercise inculcates in you a natural curiosity to know. whether your answer is clever enough or not, sufficient enough or not, better or not, right or not. You also learn a lot about yourself, simply because the answer emanates from originality. You have with yourself, in an observable manner, a theory that came entirely from you, which after comparison opens up doors to self-analysis and introspection. And the most important quality it brings in your personality is patience. When you engage in the process of thinking, you subconsciously invite patience into the equation because it is patience that allows extensive examination and scrutiny of the matter at hand. Lastly, not to forget, you will collect knowledge. Now, after having listened to all of this, a good portion of you might be thinking that I am over-exaggerating, which is perfectly reasonable for you to think. See, it wouldn't happen with one session. You will have to do this repeatedly. Take on all of your problems, no matter how small, stupid, binary they may seem to you. Actually, the more stupid they are, I'm sure the easier it is going to be for you. So by all means, take the stupidest questions and try to come up with a tightly knit explanation that covers the why, how, and the root. So here's an exercise for you. Solve one problem every day. If you run out of problems, take general problems that people around you have. Common issues that people suffer from. For example, why does she keep dating dysfunctional men? Why does he make the same mistakes again? Why are people addicted to Facebook? But first, consider solving all those issues that push you to buy self-help books and watch motivational and relationship videos. It is high time you come up with an answer instead of copying someone else's. With every attempt, your brain will become sharper from the exercise it will get. And with continued repetitions, you will become a person of incredible reasoning with very adjustable sensibilities. I earnestly hope that you will start doing this. In my last video, I said that I'll be posting lots of exercises and information as means to better your English on Instagram. I have decided to also post questions that encourage thought, creative thinking, and problem solving. So if you want to be a part of this, join me on Instagram or any of the social media, since I'll be posting these on all of them. My username is @Mansutra. Thank you for watching, and don't ever forget, you are awesome.